Hello, it's Gabby here for you. Before we jump onto this week's podcast, I just want to let you know about 2 ways that you can work with me. First of all, I do one-to-one coaching and I do that via Zoom, so we can jump on a Zoom call at a time to suit you. The second thing I've got for you is an online coaching course that's 12 modules that you can download straight away now. There will be a link somewhere around these podcast notes. And this is the course that I've designed, and it's got everything in it that I wish I'd have known when I finished cancer treatment and I was lost. So you can download that course now and you can start working towards making this your happiest and healthiest year ever. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, lovely, and welcome back to Confidence After Cancer. Today we're diving into a topic that every woman struggles with, but especially those of us who've been through a cancer. And that is boundaries, burnout, and the magical, life-changing word, no. And before you roll your eyes and say, oh, Gabby, but I'm hopeless at boundaries, just know you're not alone. That's not the first time I've heard anyone say that. Most women I coach would rather run a marathon in stilettos than disappoint somebody. And to be honest, that's how I used to be. But here's the truth. You didn't go through cancer just to come out of the other side, burnt out, resentful, and carrying everybody else's emotional shopping bags. And this episode is all about learning how to protect your energy without guilt so that you can thrive, not just survive. So why does burnout hit so hard after cancer? And this part is so important for you to understand, because after treatment, your body has already done the equivalent of an Ironman event and a PhD and a stressful family Christmas all at the same time. So when people quite casually say, oh, you're back to normal now, are you? You have permission. I give you permission to internally scream, because I know your nervous system is still recalibrating. Your body is still healing and your mind is still adjusting to the new normal. Even though you didn't ask for a new normal, you're quite happy with the old one if you're anything like me. So burnout is not a character flaw. It's a physiological response to doing too much too soon with too little energy. Lovely, you can't sprint every day when your body has already run a marathon. And so I'm going to give you some polite no formulas that might help you, and give you some tips and techniques that have helped me and have helped my coaching clients. So the first one is the polite no formula. And this has helped me to make boundaries easy, because many women think that saying no means being rude. But the truth is, a boundary is kindness, and not just always to other people. Sometimes the biggest kindness you can do is to yourself. So here is my favourite formula, the polite no. I'd love to help, but I can't commit to that right now. It's short, it's graceful, it's non-negotiable. There's no over-explaining, there's no guilt paragraph, and there's no fake excuse like I need to wash hair. Although, quite honestly, I'd accept that as valid. But here's a few more ready-made ones you might want to use. That doesn't work for me, but I hope it goes well. Or you might want to say, particularly at work, I don't have capacity for that at that moment. Or you might want to say, I can do that, just not today. Or you might want to say, let me come back to you on that. That buys you some time, because boundaries don't have to be sharp. They can be soft, calm, and clear. Okay. So there are some red flags of burnout that many women choose to ignore. They just think, well, that's the way life is. So if you recognise yourself here with some of the things I'm going to talk about, take it as a gentle nudge that you might want to think about changing some things. So if you recognise yourself being snappy for no reason, crying at emails or crying at a text message, you might recognise that you've got brain fog that makes you forget which room you're in. You might recognise that you feel on all the time, that you can't relax. An expression I'm hearing more and more is tired but wired, just absolutely exhausted but unable to relax. You might recognise that you have taken people pleasing to Olympic levels, and that's not doing you any good, is it, my love? You might recognise that you are saying yes to people Well, internally, your inner voice is screaming no in capital letters. So burnout will whisper before it shouts. And I'd invite you to think about, don't wait until your body forces you to stop. Start listening to those whispers because they are giving you feedback. They are giving you some good information that is actually telling you might want to think about changing some things. So what can you do if you recognize yourself here? Well, I've got some little habits here that could help save your sanity. These are energy protectors. Okay. These are solutions. These are simple, practical, but genuinely life-changing things that have worked for me and for some of my clients. A big one for me was no work after 6 p.m. You are not a machine. And you deserve evenings that don't involve replying to emails in your pajamas. You know, when I first got a mobile phone, the way emails are, oh, this is great. I can keep on top of everything. But no, for me, it meant I was never switching off. I was not getting the rest and relaxation that I needed. So for me, that is a boundary now. No work after 6 p.m. and no reasonable manager in your job, unless depending on the type of job you've got, we'll have a problem with that. Sometimes we create our own problems. Okay. The other habit that I've got now is just one quiet night per week where I've got no plans, no people, no noise, just rest, warmth, and maybe a bubble bath if you fancy, or having a face pack, or doing your nails, or just doing something, or reading a nice book, just something for you, a quiet night with no plans, no people, and no noise. Does that sound attractive to you? Because I love evenings like that. The third habit I would like to suggest to you is you don't have to justify your no, okay? Because a boundary with justification can become a negotiation. And it's not about that. This is not a two-way conversation. A boundary is you stating very clearly what you need. And you're not negotiating your health. Well, I hope you're not. Because for me, my health is now non-negotiable. It's sacrosanct. I have to look after my energy. It's just what I need to do for my own happiness and my own health and my own healing. Number 4, and this can be a little bit of a hard one, but you have to accept that other people have their feelings and you can't change other people. You can only change yourself. Okay, so number 4, let people have their feelings. As Mel Robbins would say in her very famous book now, let them feel, okay, whatever they're feeling, because their disappointment doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. People are allowed to have their emotions, but you're also allowed to have your limits, okay? Just let them. You cannot be responsible for other people's feelings. You don't want to be cruel intentionally, but you're not being cruel. You are being kind to yourself. Number 5, for a little habit that's helped me, is to create buffer days. So if you're having a very busy week or maybe a few weeks, just declare one day, nothing day. Blank out your diary, take things out, or your to-do list, your tasks. Just have one day where you have no plans and nothing day, because rest is productivity for survivors. And again, for me, that's non-negotiable now. It's not being lazy. It's what I need to replenish my energy. Number 6, and this is a really good one for me, is ask your body this question every morning. What do you need today? Not what should I be doing, not what's on my to-do list, but ask your body, what do you need today? Because your body knows. So just ask yourself in the morning, what do you need today? And trust the answer that comes up. Trust that answer and then act accordingly. So I want to tell you a little story about one of my clients. And she reminded me a lot of myself, the way that I used to be. She was quite proud of the fact that she could multitask. She'd worked a lot of overtime. She would take on extra tasks. She would cover for colleagues. She'd organise events. You name it, she did it. And she was exhausted, but she was terrified of seeming ungrateful for the great job that she had, for the lovely family that she had, for the amazing recovery she'd had after her illness. But finally, she set her first boundary and she told her manager, I'm at capacity. I can't take this on right now. And do you know what he said? Thank you for telling me. I didn't realise how much pressure you were under. Not only did she not get in trouble, she gained way more respect. And she was absolutely astounded at this answer. And it was right in front of her all the time. Because boundaries don't push people away. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. Okay. And this is something I work on with my clients inside Powerfully You. Inside my Powerfully You coaching program, we work very deeply and obviously at a very individual level on building healthy boundaries, on managing energy so that you don't burn out, on communicating assertively, whatever it is that you're struggling with. We'll come up with some habits for you. And we'll come up with ditching guilt-based habits, because guilt is not an emotion we want to carry around with us anymore. And we want to work on healing people-pleasing patterns. And again, I've talked about this before because this is something I've really had to work on. And we work on learning to rest without feeling lazy or any emotional connotations that might have for you, but simply learning to rest and seeing that as so important, because it is. So if you're returning to work, or if you're rebuilding your life after cancer and you want to feel strong and calm and confident, I'd love to support you. And you can simply book a clarity call with me using the link. Somewhere around these show notes will be a link that you can use to book a time to have a chat with me. And let's see what we can do. Whatever you're facing, we can have a confidential call. So I just want to finish with a mantra, and I'd like you to repeat it, okay? Repeat after me. My needs matter. My energy matters. My boundary matters. Okay? My boundaries matter. Because your no is not rude. It's not selfish. It's not a rejection of other people. It's just simply a full sentence. And it is an act of self-respect, protecting your peace. And I will see you next week for another episode. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, stay sane. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.